Marsha. Now, I was talking about, of course, you know, once you have a baby, nobody talks about you really anymore. We're talking about Nyla.
I get it. I know.
Yes.
I know.
How is she doing?
Well, Nyla's mother's doing fine.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I absolutely understand it. It is. It's a beautiful thing. I'm now Nyla's mother. Marsha Ambrosius is a whole other, thing. So she's amazing. Yeah. She's great.
Good. She's a year and a half, so that means it's been a year and a half since you've been here. And people are probably bugging out when they see us with sunglasses on. But guess what? It's Sunglasses Day. It's National Sunglasses Day. So it all kind of fits in, you know? So we're sitting here. You just came back from Vegas, you said?
Well, I live in Vegas now.
Okay.
And I was in L.A. over the BET Awards week.
That's right. Fresh from the BET Awards.
Hectic week, but an amazing one. So I had so much fun.
How nervous were you sitting there? I mean, because I'm thinking you've got to stand in front of this songstress.
Right.
And while she's sitting there, and you've got to bring something to her song because you know she's already done it.
Right.
Now you've got to interpret it in Marsha's way. How difficult was that?
Not difficult at all. I mean, for me, the respect level that she'd given me and the talks that I've had outside of, just the BET Awards, this is someone that has taken me under their wing and has not only inspired but encouraged, this next generation of who she considers her faves.
Right.
And I just happened to be one of them. So when she saw my face and I saw hers, it was genuine. No one else in the room, just love. So her standing up with tears of joy and just enjoying, I'd say Adam Blackstone and, his band, what they put together was just a phenomenal way to really celebrate this woman while she's here.
Now, did she pick you or did they surprise her?
She put in a wish list and then it was a surprise.
Wow.
So,
very nicely done. Very nicely done. And, Monday, we just celebrated the life and legacy of Michael Jackson as that marked the 9th anniversary of his passing. Crazy. But what I didn't know, we talked about Michael and Butterflies, but I didn't know that the song was really inspired by your crush on a guy who worked at McDonald's.
Yep.
Could you share that story?
So in Camberwell, London, England, there was a McDonald's that was like maybe a 5-minute walk from my house, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And I had no business being at the bus stop at that McDonald's because I lived the other way. But I used to walk there with my friends just so I could look at him. He didn't even flip burgers. He swept the floor. So this is back then when it was the really off brown uniform. You remember that terrible brown?
Yeah, the faded brown.
How can you look that fine in off brown? That's when I just knew he was the one for me. I still don't know who it was, still to this day. Don't know the name.
Really? So
I know it was like one of my
meet
neighbor's friends, and I would see him around. And back then, he was my Mr. Dalvin or Devontae of Jodeci.
Right. And he's somewhere, living somewhere now. I don't even know that he is the inspiration behind Butterflies.
Yeah.
And, Far Away, another song that was birthed out of another situation that was close to you. Now, for those of you who don't know, it was, it confronts homophobia and bullying.
Right.
What can we expect on this album to move us? Well, I know let's talk about the single because I just saw the video today, which brought tears to my eyes because today we're dealing with having to put this 15-year-old to rest. I've cried too many tears. The level of empathy, being a parent now, is just on a whole other level to look at what's happening to our youth and how careless it can be to just negate someone else's life like that. Yeah. I don't know how to really put it into words nor articulate the pain that I feel. Everyone feels it. Yeah. Sometimes I'm scared to pick up my phone. If I see a CNN breaking news, I don't even want to look at what just happened for fear of that ill feeling you get, like that lump in your throat that I want to throw up, oh my goodness, how close does it have to get to our backyard before we're really upset? And yeah, we're talking about putting Lysandro Jr. to rest. And having seen Marsha Ambrosius' video today of old times, she sings of wanting old times, but every mother, every wife, every family member, when they see somebody walk out the door, they just don't know if that person is going to come back
ever
in the times that we're living in.
Right.
What one day can you take us back to that you decided to put pen to paper and write old times?
It was about maybe a year and a half ago, and I remember hearing the piece of music, and music speaks to me. So it was already narrated in a way that it brought back that nostalgia, that good feeling that, you know, you could smell your mother's cooking. You knew what chores you had to do. This was a time when music used to help you. You used to say, okay, I'm going to press play right now and feel better about life. And there are very rare songs that you could do now that have that Anita Baker effect or that Marvin Gaye effect, Michael Jackson effect, Stevie Wonder, Prince. I could keep naming names. So I wanted to put together a song that paid homage to that feeling sonically. But then when I lent the verses, and it was really about, wow, I have a husband now, I have a daughter now. And every time he leaves, and if he doesn't text me back in 5 minutes to let me know where he is, what I see on social media are the examples of what could have happened in that time frame. And it terrifies me. And I think it terrifies so many people in a way that there's trauma that we're not openly speaking about. We can't just keep double tapping and prayer hands and heart emojis on social media. It's not enough. A hashtag wasn't enough. Even shooting the video, I didn't know that the incident in Pittsburgh was going to happen. And they shot that kid, I mean, I say kid, grown man with kids in his yard. Ridiculous. And that was during the process of the video. So I think in the Far Away video, addressing things like bullying and homophobia and suicide, I had a disclaimer at the end for prevention. I don't think there was anything I could have said at the end of Old Times. I was just like, I'm Nyla's mother, because there's too many hashtags. If I name one, I have to name them all. And there was too many. So it's like mini funerals that we have to have for these strangers that are no longer strangers. Now we feel like we know them. And I feel like, you know, New York right now with this recent death, it's just getting out
because
of
now
hand.
It's not only at the hands of police, it's at the hands of one another.
It's at hands, period. And something needs to happen. Something needs to shift and change. And I'm just a music maker, you know.
Well, thank you for being the muse, and thank you for whatever personal therapy that it brings you. Just know that us hearing it as well is therapeutic for us as well. So
I appreciate
we thank
that.
you. But also now, little hip hop mama, I hear you jumping on these hip hop tracks with Nipsey Hussle, Dave East.
There's no award for that. I think I deserve an award for what I've done for hip hop.
Yes.
Like I thought about it. I was
think
saying,
so too.
even though I've done the BET Awards a couple of times, I'm always doing a tribute. I've never sang my original song on the BET Awards ever. So I'm like, I'm always interpreting what I want to give Patti LaBelle or give Anita Baker or whoever else. And it's like, Dave East, Nipsey Hussle, even Damian Lillard of Portland Trailblazers had an album, did a feature on that.
Wow, so you take a picture with Migos. Is that something that's going to happen now?
That story there, that's because of my daughter. She literally picks up my phone, goes to YouTube, swipes up, has created this playlist, and she watches Walk It Like I Talk It every day.
No
Every
way.
single day, to the point where she knows Jamie Foxx's introduction, the Culture Ride, like the whole Soul Train vibe, and she claps. Like, Migos. And then the song starts. It's ridiculous. So when I saw them, I was that parent. Oh, excuse me, Migos? My daughter really, really loves you. Can we really take this pic?
This 18-month-old.
Yeah,
wow.
No, but she does. She genuinely does. And
Is she singing now?
She's doing the most. She's doing everything right now. And it's just, it's so cute to see. Like, it's amazing. Every day it's something different.
Every day. And I don't care how old they get, because my daughter's 27 now, and she's still, I still, get a twinkle in my eye when she does something.
No,
that
I
I've
called
never
my
seen
mother
her.
several times, apologizing for just like
and
being
those
terrible.
times come
And I get it.
too.
I'm her baby
Yes.
always,
Yeah.
and I couldn't see that until I'm looking at this baby. I don't know when I'm gonna stop seeing her like this little girl ever.
It's a wonderful time.
Yeah.
So it's quite appropriate that you would name the album after your daughter, Nyla.
Absolutely.
What other collaborations do you have on the album?
So I very rarely do collabs on my albums, but this one I reached out to somebody that I just absolutely love and adore and respect musically, and that was PJ Morton.
I love
him.
I was just listening over and over and over on the way in this morning to First Began.
Right. It's a ridiculous song, and I was like, this guy knows something.
Oh, yeah.
I need to do this. And there was a song that I'd had initially. My wish list is, I wish I could do this with Stevie Wonder. And I was like, let me just leave it alone. And then I heard PJ's album.
Sounds
and I was
similar
like,
to
you know
Stevie
what? Let's give this a go. I was like, you know what? Shoot your shot. I'm a ball player. Let's go it. So I DM him because I don't have his number. So I DM'd him on Instagram. I said, could you please call me? This is Marsha. I have a song. I would love you to do it. Hit me back immediately. Even though he was on tour, he sent me back that song like within 2 days.
Get out.
He said, song's phenomenal.
Amazing.
I love it. Rewrote some things in the second verse. Check it out. Let me know if you like it. And
well, you can definitely hear the Stevie Wonder influence in PJ.
Yeah, it's just soul. It's
just
soul.
raw.
Period.
Yes.
And I'm all about that.
Mm-hmm. So. Is there? You just brought up Stevie Wonder. Is there anybody else that you would love to work with that you haven't?
That's not fair because I looked at what was I doing? Wikipedia, seeing what my bio was looking like. And like you said, there's no award for all of my hip-hop features.
Right.
Like, this is from, like, Kanye to Dr. Dre to Outkast to Freeway to... There's too many things. It's very diverse.
Right.
And that's just the hip-hop end. So
right.
I don't know. I'm just gonna work and see what happens.
So if you could bring a artist to the big screen in a biopic, who do you think you could pull off?
Ooh, that's difficult. Even though I would love Phyllis Hyman, but I'd want Jasmine Sullivan to do that. But I love Phyllis Hyman and her story.
She has an uncanny.
Is just
her
heartbreaking.
and Kiki Wyatt too. Kiki Wyatt has a.
Didn't we just speak about Kiki Wyatt?
Yeah,
too? Yeah.
she
can do whatever she wants. I told her that.
Angie Bowfield. I look at you and I see Angie Bowfield.
Yeah, I remember the album cover. My mother used to put that together.
Yeah. So until then, we're going to have to pick up this album in September, but you can get the single now.
Yeah, you can get the single, watch the video, Old Times. That's available right now. But the album, cuffing season is around the corner.
That's right.
Okay? Like summertime, and summertime in NY is just gorgeous. Humid, but gorgeous. So being a ball player, and I've said this several times.
I know, girl. I'm
get your
to get
starting five together. Choose your LeBron, your Curry, I don't know, your all-star. Like, get it together. Choose your starting five. Listen to, my summer playlist right now is, Jay-Z and Beyonce, obviously.
Right.
There's a couple of other things, but when September rolls around, you have to choose.
Yeah, because you got to start getting into that.
Who you're going to be booed up?
Right.
Well, you have to be booed up.
Right.
Okay.
You liking the LMA, huh?
I love it.
Yeah.
Nyla just took a pic with her because that's her other favorite song. So shout outs to London. I love that little girl. LMA, she's gorgeous.
So what is in your top 5 right now besides Beyonce and Jay? I'm interested for the summer.
Playlist? Well,
yeah.
Because that came out, it was just like I was like, oh my God, Beyonce is rapping better than most rappers right now. It's great. And Jay-Z, it just felt like another Jay-Z album. The bars, killing it. I'm a Jay-Z fan like no one understands. But I love this girl called Emily King. She had an album out called The Switch, and she has a song on there called Distance that is so it's just fire flames. It's going to get someone pregnant, I'm sure. Like,
maybe Nyla's mom, but we're not going to say anything. Okay, I'm just saying.
We go month to month. Okay, I'm like, it's like check to check when it comes to that. So who knows? Might be pregnant right now. We never know.
Wow, we just got an exclusive, y'all. But go ahead.
You just never know.
You never know. You never know. You're doing things, girl.
Living our best life.
You're cuffing all year round now.
So I'm thinking, I'm listening to a lot of old stuff. Like I just watched this Spielberg documentary on HBO, and I love the soundtrack to the score to E.T. I love Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Temple of Doom are really good scores. But Close Encounters of the Third Kind is like the most fire score. Like just the strings and just feels like you're somewhere else. I'm a weirdo.
Yeah,
the music.
That is a bit strange, but we'll take it. Listen, but if you were to give me a song that reminds you, that takes you back to old times of you growing up and maybe even on the come up, trying to get up, not quite getting to Marsha Ambrosius status, but coming up in the 80s, 90s, what song could we play that would take you back to old times?
There's two. Oh my gosh, it has to be Shaka Khan's "Stronger Than Before."
Oh my God! You know who did that? You know somebody else did that before. I think it was Joyce Kennedy.
Really?
I believe so.
Oh no, I used to live that. I can see Shaka Khan's album cover. So that album period, like "Feel for You," everything was amazing. But Tina Marie, "Behind the Groove," "Yes Indeed," and "Portuguese Love" is just
that takes you back.
Oh.
I know it was released the same year. Shaka Khan and Joyce Kennedy is Stronger Than Before.
Which is crazy.
Isn't
and
that?
I didn't know that. I'm looking at Burt Bacharach and Dionne Warwick had a version, and that sounds fire too. So
yeah.
I've got to look it up now.
Now, you just got to give us your version.
Ooh.
That would be dope.
Well, I actually covered, because we were speaking earlier about songs that just remind me of old times. I had a cover of Tina Marie's "Yes Indeed" that I never released. Like with a full-blown orchestra.
Really?
Nuts.
Well, why don't you release it?
You'll get it some point. But in the meantime, this album...
Yes, September 14th.
I'm not playing games. Like, I'm not going to be accountable for 18 years later of your life after cuffing season. I want you to see your kids go to college, okay? And it should be a good thing. I used to say it like a negative, you don't want to be booed up with the wrong one, which is why I say now, just narrow down your starting five to your LeBron,
there you
Curry,
go. Right.
Durant, Harden.
So that by
Westbrook,
September 14th, you know exactly.
Yeah, like, do the right thing.
Right.
You can't juggle all of these dates. Get to know, really really understand someone's spirit and soul. So come September, when you press play on my album, there's a song called Flood. I think that one's the one that's going to do it.
And what is it going to do?
Ooh.
Do you have a Marsha moment? Because I heard about a Marsha moment on one of these songs. How High? Was that a cannabis moment?
Oh my gosh. How High is such a, if I must say so myself, a beautifully written, composed song that you'll fall in love by accident. You'll fall in love with your Uber driver for being quiet.
So be careful where you listen to this song.
I'm serious. Like, music can really get you. And I understand that I have the responsibility to be a soundtrack and score to your life. Because I know what, like I said, the Shaka Khans and Tina Marie's and Jodeci's of the world did for me and everything else under the sun. But if I can be that muse for you, why not? Why not? It's like an indirect threesome.
So that's How High. But now you were talking about Flood.
Flood is terrible on so many levels, but in the greatest of all Wet and Wild ways. It's like a water theme park for adults.
Yeah. Y'all gonna really have to practice some safe sex with this album.
In 2 minutes flat. Like, I'm that person. It doesn't take a lot to know what you want, And when it's right, it's just right. So creating this album and even meeting my husband, and now we have a daughter. It didn't happen all by accident.
Right. This seems like it's the musical version of Black Love. So
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So look out for the musical version of Black Love from Marsha Ambrosius. It's called Nyla, the album, September 14th. I don't know if you can pre-order it, but whenever you get a chance to pre-order it, please do so. But in the meantime, get Old Times
Old Times
now.
And definitely check out that video. It's important.
And then you can also catch her on Nipsey Hussle's Real Big.
Real Big.
And
Dave
Grateful
East,
from
Grateful.
Dave East. And maybe the Migos.
Oh, yeah. Royce, I did. Royce the 5'9" Outside. We did that with Robert Glasper, actually.
Right.
There's a lot. I just did snuck things in there while I was nice and happy being Nyla's mother somewhere.
That's right. And you're doing a wonderful job at being Nyla's mom. All right. Give it up for Nyla's mom, everybody.
Hey.
Marsha Ambrosius.
Thank you.